Hello there, Biaka Miusodesu, and welcome to my review of God of War. So I've played God of War, the 2018 game, I think it's from that year, and I didn't play any of the games before that. I actually want to play so I can learn more about Kratos' story, but I really had fun playing this God of War, so uh, it's visually amazing, and it's really fun to see Kratos because you can, even if you didn't play the games before this one, I feel like you are able to understand the story, and you can really understand Kratos' personality. You can see that he's a very quiet person. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but he's a really quiet person. He doesn't talk much. He's always angry with the world. And then you have Atreus. So Atreus is his son, and one of the things that I question myself is, from what I can understand, Atreus spent most of his time with his mother. I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name. It was always mother and other stuff that they said. He spent most of his time with his mother that taught him a lot about written language, also other languages, and the basics of fighting from what I could see. And then, when his mother died, Kratos basically has to take care of the boy. And their relationship is really, it's really difficult to handle because they don't know each other. So what was Kratos doing through all those years? He just wasn't there because he really loved Atreus' mother. So I don't understand, because it seems like they didn't have any contact between them. But basically, the story of this God of War is Atreus' mother died, and Kratos prepared her funeral. That's literally the beginning of the game. And after burning her body, they are going to fulfill her last wish, which was to take her ashes to the highest part of Midgard. Was that it? I think it was. I'm not very good with the terms of the various places. The journey will actually take a lot of time because if they did what they are supposed to do, the journey would be really short because the only thing they have to do is walk through their house, from their house, and then to the highest point, wherever that is. But first, they must take the highest point, and then just to get there, because the highest point is actually in the lands of the giants, they have to go through a lot. But that adventure is really fun, and although sometimes I was thinking this is just Kratos and Atreus getting sidetracked by a lot of stuff, and so that the story can be bigger, uh, you don't feel uh, put off by this because through that time you can see their relationship growing, and that's one of the best parts of this game because I really love to see how their personalities, how their relationship evolve through the time. So, talking about Kratos, I will not talk about his personality or the things that he did before this game because besides killing gods, I don't really know. I know that he hates gods because he says you can see by his behavior throughout this game. But I don't know anything before, so I will not comment on that. You can see that Kratos, I actually said that he only has two kinds of answers. It's I don't care or I do not know. And if you had an adventure only with Kratos, that adventure would be silent But fortunately, you have Atreus doing all the talking, and from a certain point onward, you have also Mimir telling stories and making some funny remarks. So they are really, really interesting characters. Uh, there are various moments which I really love to see. Kratos, although his answers are short and he doesn't talk much, you can see that he still likes the boy and he is still trying to be a good parent to him, because you see lots of moments where he's going to comfort him, but he doesn't really know how to do things. So he doesn't know what is the right thing to say or the right way to make him feel better, but he's trying. And I think that's one of the most interesting parts, is that he doesn't know how to be a father, but he's trying. And then you have Atreus. Atreus is a very, I think we could say he's a very happy boy, a very happy-go-lucky kind of character. And then you have some moments where he just snaps. He is really distracted by the adventure, by the adrenaline of the journey, and then someone talks badly about his mother, and Atreus wants to kill everyone. So there was actually a part where I was feeling really irritated about Atreus, which was when Kratos finally tells him that they are gods, because Atreus was really, he didn't know. He thought that because he thought his mother was human, and that Kratos, although being super strong, was also human. And Kratos always talked about his hate for gods. So why would he be a god too? And when he discovered that, he also made some funny questions about what kind of powers would he have as a god. But Atreus becomes really full of himself. So he thinks, I think there was a part where he even said, oh, I can kill whoever I want because I'm a god and I can do whatever the hell I want. And after he does so much, he messes up so much, and he goes back down to himself and finds the balance between being a god. He is really clever, and it is really interesting because you see these characters develop so much throughout the game. It was really interesting because I didn't think that they would develop that much, because I was looking forward to see their relationship grow, but not the characters themselves. But the characters really change. And you have friends that they make along the way. You have Mimir. I really loved Mimir. So you have this guy that was punished by Odin by being stuck to a tree, and you have to cut off his head, and basically he will witness some really awkward moments between Kratos and Atreus, because he's always hanging from Kratos' waist and he can't do anything about it. So, and he will try to guide both Atreus and Kratos, because he can see that their relationship is really broken, and he will try to mostly advise Kratos, but Kratos doesn't want to listen. And that stubbornness is one of the things that really drags, but it's also part of him. So if it wasn't for it, I mean, the game would be a lot shorter, and Kratos wouldn't be Kratos. And you have also they were dwarf brothers, which was also really interesting because they don't get along, and then they come together to help build equipment and help Kratos and Atreus on their journey. So I also found really interesting the conversations with the dwarf brothers. You have the tough one, and you have picky one who doesn't want the dirty things because he doesn't like germs or something like that. And you also have the only female character on this game, which is Freyja. I really liked Freyja because I liked all the concept around her. She's living in that turtle house underneath the tree. She knows a lot about magic, about a lot of things, but her character was really destroyed at the end because you have this really supportive character of Kratos and Atreus who helps them a lot and knows a lot of stuff, and then by the end of the game she becomes really stupid because and you can see that for the next God of War she will be some kind. I think she will be on the way of Kratos and Atreus, and for a really stupid reason. But to talk about that, we also have to talk about Baldur. Baldur is actually the villain of this game, but I don't really understand why. Because he's looking for something. He wants something. He's the son of Freyja, and Freyja made him invulnerable. But by doing so, he also lost the capability of feeling anything. He doesn't feel at the level of emotions, he doesn't feel on the physical level, and he's really angry about that. And he was just on Kratos and Atreus' way. I didn't really get why, and they end up killing him. Well, they don't end up killing him. They actually, Kratos spares him and tells him to just go away and never come back. But Baldur is so fixated on his revenge that he tries to kill Freyja, and Kratos can't have that. And he kills Baldur to save Freyja. And Freyja just has the stupid attack and says, "No, you have killed my son and I have no reason to live and I shall bring you misfortune and everything." And I'm like, you are going to be killed. I understand that he is his son and mother's love and everything, but that's so stupid. Why did you have to become so stupid? And I'm really sad for that because I really loved Freyja's character. So we have all the characters. I actually was able to, by the end, hate Freyja more than Baldur because Baldur is irritating, it's annoying, he's always on in the path, uh, uh, making trouble, but Freyja was the stupid one, and I can't forgive her for that. About the game, I really liked the mechanics. I was really struggling at the beginning and I can't really say that by the end of the game. Well, I was better, but not as good as I wanted to be. It's not the kind of playability that I'm used to, but it's really interesting. You having to manage between the axe, the blades of chaos, knowing what type the enemies are weak to, using the shield because it's very important, using the rune attacks. It was really fun, and I also really enjoyed to do the side missions because you have errands, treasures. I tried to do as much as I could. During my playthrough, when I finished the game, I also tried to do some that I didn't get the chance during the story. Uh, but I didn't do everything because I'm not about platining a game. I don't care about that. But it was a really fun game and I actually spent more time in it than I anticipated. So it's really addicting. It's really fun to hear all the conversations between Mimir, Kratos, Atreus. Uh, it's really fun and it's a game I really recommend because visually stunning, the voice acting is on point, the soundtrack, it's not one of my favorite soundtracks, but it's a really solid soundtrack and it really captures the theme and the ambience of the game, and it's really good. You also have a lot of fun trying to get all the upgrades and trying to upgrade Atreus and Kratos' equipment. And by the end of the game, when you are finally able to scatter the ashes of Atreus' mother, you also discover that all their journey until that point, when they arrive at the land of giants, all of that was written on the walls. So Atreus' future was already dictated, and Atreus' mother was a giant. And it seems that neither Atreus, which I can understand, nor Kratos, which for me is the weird part, knew that his mother was a giant. And there's also, it seems, a part that Atreus was looking at where in the future he was carrying Kratos in his arms. So maybe that's some foreshadowing for the second game, because we will have this year God of War Ragnarok, and if you return, because the game ends after you scatter the ashes, but Atreus or Kratos, I don't know which one, says we can now go home. And if you do go home, it's not one of the obligatory things, it's not a main goal, but if you do go home and they want to rest back at home, you will see some kind of preview to the second game where Thor appears before them and basically declares war. And you know that Thor will probably be, maybe because you killed one of his sons. That's a problem, yes. But we will see what we will have, maybe more gods, Freyja doing stupid stuff because she now wants revenge on Kratos. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to the game, and I will probably have to wait a little bit to play it because I think it's a PS5 exclusive and I don't own a PS5, so I will have to wait. I will try to dodge spoilers and other stuff for this game, but I'm really looking forward to it. So tell me your thoughts, tell me what you think about the characters, tell me if you what is your favorite character, if you share my opinion about Freyja. And as always, if you like this content, like the video, subscribe, share with your friends, wherever you feel like it. And if you want to see me play more games, just go to my Twitch channel. I try to do daily streams, sometimes sharing my thoughts, sometimes silently. Feel free to drop by. And I will see you next time.